Everything you'll see on this list today costs less than $100. These are all things that bring me joy that I use almost every day of my life, and they make great gifts. So let's get started. This is the Pentel Yellow Barrel 0.9mm drafting pencil, and this thing is an icon. You'll see that I made some modifications to this that I copied from Van Neistat. I've got a video short linked below where I show you how to do it. These are great gifts for anyone that likes to have a pencil on hand. They're reliable, they're rugged, they're durable, they're beautifully designed. Buy someone a pack of these, and this is a gift that will get use every single day. Second item on my list, and one of 2 books on my list, is this book, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. One of the markers for me of how much a book inspires me creatively is how often I find myself putting the book down and grabbing a pen to jot down an idea that I've suddenly had. Reading through this book, you just find yourself filled with inspiration, filled with creative ideas that you can use, and it's just a really special experience. He talks about ways to find inspiration. He talks about ways to take what you admire from artists that you really enjoy and bring that into your own voice. It's no surprise that this book is the darling of YouTube creatives. There are tons of videos all over the place. It's just a really special book. I do have one complaint. This is a brand new copy because I found that when I read this and really get into it, the pages start to fall out, but it's still worth it. I bought this book as gifts for students that I've worked with, for friends. It's just an incredible, incredible book. Next item on my list are these padded wraps by Tenba. I just call them Tenba wraps. They're these padded squares that are smooth on one side and have sort of like a soft surface that Velcro can stick to on the other side. When you travel with gear that you don't want to sort of clunk around and get damaged in your backpack, what you can do is you can wrap it up in these wraps. They're super, super handy. Sometimes I travel with a camera bag and they have different compartments that keep my gear nice and snug. But when I'm traveling with a backpack and I have a nice camera and I don't want it banging against other things, these are amazing. I give these as gifts all the time. They're always unexpected, and I always hear from my friends later that they're incredibly useful, so I recommend these. The next item on my list, if you've been following me for a little while, you've probably heard me talk about these. These are field notes. I was going to show you a brand new packet, but I already started using it, so I'll take one of these out. These are really, really incredible notebooks. They're small, they're slim, they're durable, they're nice and sturdy, and they're beautifully designed. These things got me through residency, they got me through fellowship. I almost always have one tucked in my scrubs shirt pocket or my white coat pocket. And what's great about them is they don't take up a lot of space and they don't fall apart while you're using them. Honestly, I've never been sponsored by Field Notes. They probably don't need to sponsor me because they know I'm gonna talk about how much I love these anyway. These are one of my favorite things. I buy these for myself in bulk. I give them as gifts. Highly recommend Field Notes. Next item on my list is this tiny classic Swiss Army knife. It's literally called their classic. This is not the most rugged knife. This is not the knife with the most tools in the world. It's not the fanciest knife, and many people will think I'm crazy for not having a bigger knife. But I love these things. I think they're beautifully designed. It's a timeless look. I have one in my kitchen drawer, I have one in my backpack, and I find them surprisingly useful. I probably use these little scissors more than the knife blade, but you'd be surprised how often you just need to use a knife blade to open something quickly. Swiss Army knife makes a great gift, can go in someone's keychain. I love these things. Next item on my list, Owala water bottle. I never thought I would be waxing eloquent about a water bottle, but this thing is awesome. It's got this little clip here that doubles as a lock to prevent it from opening accidentally. This thing's spring-loaded. And total game changer, it has a built-in straw. Now, I never used to think about wanting a straw in a water bottle, but when you're exercising, if you're running on a treadmill, it is incredible to be able to have a straw and not have water splash all over your face every time you try to take a drink. These things also come in awesome colors. There are like a zillion different colors if you go to their Amazon page. I'll have it linked up below. And they keep your liquids insanely cold. If I put a couple ice cubes in this thing with my water in the morning, by mid-afternoon, it will still be icy, refreshing cold. I love this thing. They make great gifts. Next item on my list, and the second book on my list, is a photo book. Now this is called Bystander. This is one of the most iconic books on street photography. It was put together by two absolute legends in photography, and it really tracks the history of street photography. One of the things that I love about this book is that as you flip through, you aren't just getting to enjoy the medium, you are learning to be a better photographer because you are learning how to develop the art of noticing, and you're starting to develop a better eye. So I love paging through this book and getting inspired and also learning creatively. And this is just a really great gift for any budding photographer in your life or any actual photographer in your life. Next item on my list is actually in the background here. It's a little bit blurred, but it is my Dremel. One second. So this is my Dremel. See if you can read it here. This is the Dremel 4000. That means that the one that I have is not battery powered. It's got this plug-in attachment, and I bought a separate attachment for it that's connected to this long hose thing. So this is a hand piece that I use, but it's still controlled and powered by this bigger part of the Dremel. I use this for everything. I use my Dremel for engraving. I use it for cutting different surfaces. I use it for polishing, and I'm not even scratching the surface of what this is capable of. People use their Dremel as drill presses. They use Dremels as routing machines. There's just so much that you can do with this. So these are great starting tools if you have someone in your life that is into working with their hands and doesn't have a Dremel. And if you have someone in your life that already has a Dremel, take a look to see what attachments they have, because attachments for these make great gifts. You can buy them a new attachment and all of a sudden it's like they have a brand new tool with a whole new set of capabilities. Dremels make great gifts. Final item on my list, coming in just under $100, it's $99, is this little photo printer from Canon. It's called the Selfie Printer. Now, I think of this the way I think of Polaroids. This does not make the best prints in the world. They do not have the richest color. They are not the sharpest prints in the world. But what they are is a physical print that you have in your hand. I don't know about you, but until I got this, I'd say 99% of all photos I ever take never leave my camera. Maybe I post them to Instagram, I send them to family, but they just live digitally. And there's just something so neat about being able to print a photograph out and hold it in my hand. One of my favorite things to do is pair this with a little magnetic sleeve. I'll have those linked up below also, and put it on a refrigerator or on a metal wall in your office. It's a really, really neat way of taking your digital photographs and turning them into something physical that you can hold in your hand. It's called the Selfie Printer by Canon. I'll see you soon. Gershwin is super sleepy, but let's see if he'll take a selfie.